when you look at something, you don't see just one color. You see like so many different colors, but we just take advantage of it because
it's like the different shades we see. And
I don't know, it's what you see.
It is the way that the light is reflected back when we look at it with our eyes.
There is the reflection of light that the mind interprets and makes a visual image.
What do you see when light reflects off an object?
What kind of question is that?
Something that like reflects from your clothes and projects that color.
Color is what you see.
Color is everything that isn't white.
Color is, at the most basic level, comes down to the fact that any source of light around you produces white light. If it's just a natural source of light, when that light hits different things, one of two things are happening. It's going to bounce off that substance, or it's going to bend as it goes through that substance. And light speeds up or slows down when that happens. When it speeds up or slows down, it's going to bend, or it's going to bounce off in a bunch of different directions. It splits that light into different wavelengths or different frequencies, and that produces different colors. So what we see is really our eyes fine-tuned to picking up different frequencies or different wavelengths of light when it bounces off something or goes through something and bends.
Do you think that one person could look at something and think that it's a color, and then someone else could look at it and think it's another color?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Really, being able to see color in itself is not terribly useful. It's how your brain interprets what you see that's important. So there's a couple places where that could happen, where somebody could see something and somebody else could see something totally different. One is if just the machinery in your eyes isn't the same as somebody else's, you might not have the ability to even see the same color, right? But the other possibility is that your eyes are perfectly fine, but somewhere in the connection from what your eyes see and how your brain interprets it, you get turned around. When I was a kid, my parents laughed at me all the time because I learned early on my colors, and I mislearned two of my colors. I mislearned purple and orange. So when I was 5 years old, my kindergarten teacher called my parents and was like, "Something's wrong with your kid. He thinks orange is purple, he thinks purple is orange." And I had just convinced myself that that's what it was, that this color is purple and this color is orange. So it really has something to do with either one of those two things. We know for sure that there are a couple of diseases where people even smell color, or they hear colors. They actually get their senses crisscrossed, and they can tell you this is how purple smells, this is how red smells, this is how green smells. And it's just because the way their brain interprets color has gotten confused with another part of their brain that interprets scent or interprets hearing. So it can get lost a little bit in brain science and in neurology.
Do you think that colors have more of like a physical effect on us or like an emotional effect on us?
I would say both. If I had to weigh it, I would say probably more a physical effect. There's some people who have been documented to have very strong emotional reactions to certain colors. And for instance, they say red makes you angry, or this color, which is kind of a lavender color, is supposed to be one of the most soothing colors. It's supposed to calm people down. And I would say that's probably true, but I think that emotional effect is a secondary effect to a physical effect. Just from my own personal experience, I can say that, like when I'm driving, a really, really bright light bothers me. So I want to wear sunglasses when I'm driving because it has a physical effect. That's going to affect you emotionally too. If you're being constantly bothered by something, you're going to get irritated.
'Cause your heart has a lack of color, and we should have known.
What is color blindness?
Well, color blindness has to do with the fact that the human eye has in it 3 different pigments. One of those pigments is very sensitive to blue light. Another one of those pigments is very sensitive to green light. And the third pigment is very sensitive to red light. and the defects in color vision come as a result of either one of those pigments being absent or being altered.
I am colorblind.
What does the word color mean to you?
Colors are just like the reflection of like rays of light. Other than that, I don't really have any like abstract meaning of color. It's just like a waste of time to think about.
Okay. How has being colorblind affected your life?
Well, in Jackson, it was interesting because I couldn't see purple, so all the walls and everything were purple, and everyone's like, "Oh, what color is that?" Like when I tell them I can't see purple, but like obviously stuff in Jackson High School was purple, so I would tell them that it's purple, and they're like, "Well, I thought you were colorblind." I'm like, "Well, it doesn't look purple, but maybe it does. I don't know." But obviously it's purple because it's in Jackson. Then other than that, just like colored pencils kind of look the same, so if they're not labeled, that's tough, like red, green, and brown. So when we would like have to color things, I'd have to ask people what color they were, and a lot of people would be confused when I would ask them what color stuff was.
Okay. And although you're colorblind, do you still associate certain feelings with certain colors? And if so, what are they?
Well, I mean, there's like random traditional things that people say, like red is anger and like blood, so it's like death and stuff like that, and like white is purity. That's just like things society like tells you that like colors are associated with. It's not like I really made up on my own any like associations through like life experiences or anything like that. But I don't know if that's because I'm colorblind or because I didn't really care.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, does it give you an emotion?
Angry.
Nice. What about yellow?
Makes me think of the sun, and it makes me feel happy.
What about blue?
Water, and it kind of makes me feel sad.
What about black?
The night sky, and it kind of makes me feel scared.
What about color white?
Clouds.
Thank you. What do you think of when you see red?
Like fire and something.
Does it give you an emotion?
Yeah, like mad.
Mad. What about yellow? It's okay.
A banana.
Well, yeah, you're right. Bananas are yellow.
Does yellow give you a certain emotion?
Happy.
Happy. Okay. What about blue?
The waves of the ocean.
Does it give you an emotion?
Calm.
Calm. What about black?
Bat.
Does it give you an emotion?
Scared.
Scared. What about white?
Winter. Snow.
Okay, thank you.
Feel when you see red?
Mad. Definitely mad. Red resembles fire and blood. So.
What do you feel when you see yellow?
Probably brighter and happier than red, definitely.
What do you think of when you see blue?
Blue is, well, blue, the actual, when you're feeling blue, you feel sad. So blue is definitely sad.
What about black?
Black scares me just because like I'm like scared of the dark. Like black in general is just scary.
What about white?
White is heaven.
What do you think of when you see the color red? What emotion do you feel?
I feel mad. I think of red like fire, I guess. Like mad and like I want to hit somebody.
What about yellow?
Yellow.
think of the sun and like a bright, like a happy place, or like the Walmart smiley face stickers.
No. How do you feel about blue?
Blue, probably sad and like tears, crying, because I associate it with water, I guess, and then it's sad, and you think of like I'm blue, like I'm down.
What about black?
Black, I would associate with like dark and somewhere where you don't want to be alone, like you don't want to be alone in a dark place, so like scary kind of.
What about for white?
For white, I think of heaven, like the stereotypical picture of heaven. So like an angel, and it's like bright and it's happy, and everyone wants to be there.
What we have concluded from these interviews with 2 third graders from Amherst Elementary and 2 high schoolers is that red is typically associated with feeling angry, yellow with feeling happiness, blue with feeling sadness, black with a feeling of being scared, and white similar to yellow with feeling happy, but almost a more peaceful happy. To prove that colors do have an association with emotion in our heads.
Okay, I'm here with Ms. Yale. She's an AP psychology teacher, and she's going to tell us how color affects us psychologically.
Well, actually, it was Carl Jung who came up with color psychology, which was a little while ago, but basically it's the idea that color can affect our emotions. Just recently at the university, at the British Columbia, they've done a study on color, and it's just quite fascinating. Like red tends to stir the passion juices, and green is very trustworthy. Like if you look at some of the advertising companies like BP, you know, they have the green in their slogan, and Animal Planet. But not only with marketing, but also in the realm of interior design, and let alone color therapy. So color really has a huge impact on our lives. Blue can actually lower your pulse, so blue would be a great color for schools because it can calm students down when they're test taking. Pink also evokes calmness, but over a long period of time it can create one to be agitated. So you wouldn't want your prisons nor your schools to be colored pink. Your orange and yellows can also draw attention. It can kind of give you energy, and if you notice more of the trendy restaurants are now a lot of the oranges and the yellows. In addition, in general, you have your lighter colors equaling tranquility, and your brighter colors or more intense colors generating excitement. Specifically, you have your purples, which historically has been that of royalty, but also it's rather trendy for teens beyond Jackson High School to go gaga over your purples. Purple leads to imagination. You have your black, which is truly elegant and authoritative, and brown evoking trustworthiness. Yellow, interestingly enough, often causes infants to cry, and if you look at a lot of nurseries, unfortunately they're also often painted in yellow. So on that note, have a good day. So I hope I've answered your question.
In essence, color has an extreme impact on the quality and perceptions of life. Color has an immense effect on society's emotions.
Ooh.